unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Ex-NFL player hates on Gervonta Tank Davis. Hardcore. Picking Ryan Garcia, not necessarily a bad thing, but it's how he went about the interview. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Gang, 2023 is about to be another phenomenal year. Now, LaShawn McCoy was asked on some kind of Shaq fundraiser or whatever. He was asked his thoughts on Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Big fight. They did a 2-city press tour. First in New York. That one was a bit drier. Tank came late, etc. And then the second one was in Los Angeles. That was the one. Shout out to the best coast, the left coast, the west coast. That was the one. You've seen more of the personalities. Tank was on time. You've seen more of the personalities from both Ryan and Tank. And it just was overall much more fun, much more lively, memorable quotes from both. You know, Ryan said Tank tried to bag on him, say, why you got them baggy pants on? And Ryan said, shut up, you had a purse on last night. Something to this effect. So definitely some quotables on both sides, and it just helped sell the fight. So much so, the tickets went on sale the same day, and I'm hearing that people are having trouble trying to purchase tickets, right? And it's sold out and things like that. So definitely a big fight, the biggest fight in boxing, in my opinion. Now, LaShawn McCoy he's a former football player in the NFL, and he was asked about this particular fight. And almost as soon as the words, and I'm going to break this down like only I can do, we unpack. If you listen to how everything played out, almost as soon as it left the interviewer's lips, pause, he said Ryan Garcia. That was his pick. He was sold on Ryan Garcia. Now, in a fight like this, like let's say Ryan and Tank, in a fight like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, I don't really care, especially unlike Errol Spence and Crawford, that fight's not officially announced and stuff like that. But if the fight's already done, especially, and we have a due date and we have a judgment day, then I really don't care what people say. People can pick one guy, pick the other guy, don't really matter because it's literally judgment day on April 22nd for that particular fight. So all that talk, whatever Ryan said, whatever Tank said, whatever Calvin Ford said, whatever the fans said, the fans can't fight for you. All these types of things, it no longer really matters when they're in that square circle and we're going to get an actual victor, an actual outcome. So trust and believe, I'm not upset anyone picking anyone. I don't really care. You know, I have my own opinions on the fight, which stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. I'll give you more of my thoughts on the winner and how the fight plays out and things like that, right? So not mad at that. But the things in boxing that it's easy to spot the real from the fake and the people who really know the sport of boxing and the people who are more like loose lip and just talking is what they say thereafter. Because you have to look at it, a fight was 50-50, you know, on paper, just because the fact that you have two different men or women, mano y mano, you know, one guy got to win, one guy got to lose. In rare circumstances, it's an absolute draw, you know? And even in situations where it's a draw, some people think the other guy won or one guy won, things like that. So for the most part, it's 50-50. One guy's going to win, one guy's going to lose, right? And it's how you break down, because anybody could take a shot in the dark and guess in a 50-50. It's like playing Keno or a game like roulette or something where the land on the red or black. It's going to be red or black on roulette, right? Let's just say we'll stick to roulette. If you're playing roulette, it's going to be red, or it's going to be black. So you could take a random guess and say black, and then it could be black. You win some money, right? If that's how you're betting. So I'm not even mad at that. But what LaShawn McCoy said showed me that he don't know what like Roger Mayweather said, most don't know ish about boxing, and they showing don't. I mean, first of all, everything he said sounded hateful. It didn't sound like an intelligent breakdown of the fight. He's like, I'm picking Ryan Garcia. I'm picking him for whoop, whoop, whoop. And if you listen to the points he was trying to make, he said, because Tank is short, Tank is small, Ryan has height on him. I mean, these are definitely the casual people that watch Creed and think that's a real movie, right? And I'm not bagging on Creed. It was all right. You know, I seen the new Creed 3, but at the end of the day, that's not really boxing, right? You got a guy in Jose Benavidez who campaigns really out of 154 pounds, really started around 140 pounds, you know, was at welterweight for a time being, got shot in the leg, whatever. That's who you casted. And you got people in a movie theater believing that Jose Benavidez, 154 pounder, is a heavyweight. That's Hollywood. Like, you could have picked, and I'm not knocking, I'm happy for Jose Benavidez. He got his opportunity to shine. You know, he did his part. But what I'm saying is it didn't look believable, and they didn't even try to make it believable. And this is going to be a quick spoiler. I mean, it doesn't really spoil the movie, but they had Jose Benavidez slated to fight Ivan Drago's son. And if you look at Ivan Drago's son, he's all brolic, big, huge dude playing a Russian, and he's supposed to be in the same weight class as Jose Benavidez, right? And I'm not going to give too much of the plot away, but it's not realistic. It's just not, right? That's some movie. You got a 154 pounder, and then he's supposed to be this knockout artist at heavyweight, and he's fighting Ivan Drago, who looks like, you know, Game of Thrones, and looks like Hugh. And just even the physique, like in Hollywood, when they do a boxing movie, everybody just get ripped. That's not even the prototypical boxing physique for boxing. And I'm just gonna go on a little side rant, but you know, muscles take oxygen, and a lot of guys who are just insanely buff, unless it's just genetics, is detrimental to you as a fighter, right? Because a lot of those fighters that are insanely buff and just muscle bound, they gas out. You know, there are some people like Tim Bradley or whatever, he has some cardio, things like that. But more often than not, it's probably not the physique you want. I know fighters who got crazy cardio, they don't even lift weights. They got crazy power, they don't even lift weights, you know? So fighting's fighting. Back to this Ryan Garcia, this shows me who knows what, because everything that LaShawn was saying was absolutely cliche. Tank is short. I mean, I'm sure at this point, Tank being 30 years old or close to it, that he's heard that he's shorter for the weight class many times. There's stories of Tank sending a bunch of people home and breaking jaws and all this type of stuff and knocking out heavyweights. So that's nothing new. And if you actually know the pedigree of both fighters, you'll know that everybody Tank fights outside of possibly Eastside Pitbull Cruz was shorter than Tank, right? And that just further lets me know that McCoy don't know what he's talking about. I mean, if you're the first, like literally the first thing, and I posted on my Instagram, follow me at Boxingego1 if you guys want to listen to the clip directly. But I mean, the first thing out of his mouth is, oh, Tank's small. I mean, yeah, that's apparent. And that's what casual fans go for, low-hanging fruit, because they don't really know how to eloquently break down the sweet science of boxing. So they state the obvious. If somebody gets dropped, oh, he's hurt, he's losing the fight. Just because you got dropped doesn't even mean you're losing the fight. You could have just got dropped. You know, you could be hurt, you know, and some people even overstate the hurt. There's a difference between being buzzed and hurt and you're almost about to get stopped. So these are the it takes a keen eye to notice some of these subtle differences. And I didn't see that or hear that from McCoy's breakdown. He's just saying Ryan's tall, Tank's short. I mean, we knew that. We knew Tank was shorter than Ryan Garcia. Surprisingly, and I put this on my Twitter, I actually believed Ryan Garcia was going to tower over Tank and look closer to Barrios or maybe even bigger. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be more of a marked, obvious height differential. And when I seen the New York and the LA press stops, I was surprised that it didn't even look much more like announced than the Hector Luis Garcia and Tank height disparity. It really didn't. And that's just my truest thoughts. So right then and there, that already shows you that this dude don't know what he's talking about. Tank fought at 140 Barrios, and he looked like he was damn near, and I know Barrios. He like damn near 6 feet. I've stood next to him in the gym, in Virgil Hunter's gym, next to Virgil Hunter, who's also very tall, and Andres Fonfara, and guys who are tall in higher divisions and or the trainer, right? And Barrios is tall, right? When he was in that particular gym. So, and Tank stopped him, something Keith Thurman didn't even do. So again, if you're going to break down the fight with some intelligible things that show you really know what you're talking about. He was saying stuff like Tank is small and Ryan's bigger and Ryan got speed. You know, like, okay, it's not really much of a breakdown. These are obvious things. Ryan Garcia showcases his power and speed, like in all of his clips and highlights and Cobra bags and stuff like that. So he didn't really say anything new. He didn't reinvent the wheel. And the funny thing is McCoy said at the end of the interview that, oh, you really know your stuff. And he was like, yeah, I know my stuff. I told you, I know a lot about the sport. No, sir, you really don't. Now, another thing I thought was interesting about this particular interview was the question was asked, who wins Tank versus Ryan Garcia? And if you listen closely, the interviewer asked, McCoy immediately says, as I said earlier in the video, Ryan Garcia. And the host or the interviewer said, thank you. He actually thanked him for picking Ryan Garcia. Like in the world of media and journalism, what part of the game is that where you're thanking someone because they're giving the answer that you want to hear, right? And then he even said in the interview, whoever the journalist was, that everybody else he talked to was picking Tank. So why was this interviewer so relieved that one person was picking Ryan Garcia, or this named person was picking Ryan Garcia, to the point where he would say thank you? And it's funny, some people have the nerve to call me biased. I thought that was extremely unprofessional, you know, in the middle of the interview. And this is the fake part about the game, is it be dudes that say stuff like that in the boxing game, and if they see Tank, they'll beg him for an interview. But you're thanking LaShawn McCoy, who really has no like leg in boxing and is not known for his boxing opinion. You're literally thanking him because he picked the guy you wanted him to pick, which was Ryan Garcia. So again, I don't care who you're picking. April 22nd is Judgment Day. May the best man win, yada, yada, yada. But if you're going to brag and say you know what you're talking about, at least kick some science to, you know, tell me some stuff. The other thing that, I mean, I could go on and on. Other thing that McCoy said that was stupid was he said, who did Tank fight? Who did Tank beat? Who did Tank beat? You know, just the quintessential hater handbook, the talking points that you hear from old media. Who is Tank fought? Who is Tank fought? Who is Tank beat? Right? If that's your talking point, then you're picking Ryan Garcia, who has a lesser resume and has never been an official champion, albeit Ryan says he doesn't really care about belts, but those are the facts. So if you're going to dog and downplay Tank's resume and say who's he beat, then why are you picking Ryan Garcia, who has beaten less people of stature than Tank Davis has done? So right then and there, that doesn't make sense, right? To say who is Tank beat, who is Tank beat. And then he said, Eastside Pitbull Cruz, who is he? Nobody knew him. False. You, sir, didn't know him. I knew who he was. In fact, he fought on Tank's undercard before that fight, before Rolly had to pull out, and then they replaced the Sunday card with Eastside Pitbull Cruz. So this further lets me know, as a real boxing head, this dude don't know what he's talking about, because I knew exactly who Pitbull Cruz was. He had a first round knockout, I believe, on the Tank Leo Santa Cruz card. He had also been on like Errol Spence cards and stuff like that. Like he was on the Errol Spence card with Gamboa, you know, and he's acting like nobody knows Pitbull Cruz. Stop it. Just stop it. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm the best in the business. You know, I had to touch on the coonery and the hate. Subscribe to the channel. we unpack.
Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks.
The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.
Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.